And we are live. Hi,
On
Rachel.
Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
Hey, hello everybody. Hello everyone, and happy Wednesday the 27th. How does it get any better than this, and what else is possible? And today I invited my best friend. I hope all of you watching this have someone who really has your back and supports your difference and your weirdness.
Yes.
And
Especially when you are
yeah,
dealing with a lot of insanity. It's
yeah,
so.
not only when you're dealing with a lot of insanity, is that, first of all, let's start by both of us are total extreme humanoids, and humanoids are these people who have a capacity to be aware of every molecule in the universe and a capacity to generate change. And so, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is talk to the entities, which I'm a facilitator of. And yeah, how did I get so lucky? And so, where I would like to start today, Troy, is first of all, humanoids, X-Men are aware of past, present, and future. Let's start there. Okay. And so we don't function from a 2D reality. We function from, we call it like a spherical awareness. And so someone who's spherically aware will walk into a building and they will perceive everything in that building that went on in the past, everything that's going on right now and in the future. And so we live in a world that says that this is not a capacity, it is actually a disability, number one. And so if you're spherically aware and you pick up everyone else's thoughts, feelings, emotions, if you go into the wrongness of you, you will genuinely go to the point of view that you're nuts, or you will believe that you're nuts. And so what I would love to be part of as a future, and thank you so much, Shannon O'Hara, I have so much gratitude for you, is what I would love us to have open conversations about is that, yes, we are entity aware. It is true, no matter what anybody said to you or no matter what their point of view was, whatever by their judgment of the entity world or their rejection of the entity world is yours. We both did it, true?
Yep. Yep. For a long time, it was something that I really refuse because I was aware of so many like projections of what it is, and if I actually embrace my awareness, like what people will think about me and like who I'm going to lose and like all of that like point of views that was coming up, and then it just come to a point like not acknowledging what I was aware of was affecting me and my daily life, and my body, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna choose to be
The
me
reason
and have.
the reason I'm laughing so much is you say I was avoiding people's judgments on what they were thinking. And it's like you can't avoid that. One thing I know about you is you're going to be aware of what they're thinking anyway. Like it's really loud for you, It
Mm,
just it just makes me giggle that I will not own that I'm aware of past, present, and future, and that I'm aware of the history of our planet, and what went on our planet 100 years, 200 years ago, and all the energetics of what was created by people on our planet. And I will avoid that because I'm also avoiding people's judgments of what they'll think about me in regard to my capacity. while
yeah,
being while being totally aware of what they will think about you in regard to this capacity, And so
yeah,
Yeah, and so for me, I actually used to hear entities' voices in my head. I still do. At the time, though, I had no tools. I actually had no tools to deal with what I was aware of because I was educated in a straight reality. Here's your body. That's what you are. Here's this reality. There's no other reality other than what you can see. So that for someone who's entity, and in my case, extremely entity aware, is devastating and severe, as you said, on your physiology and your psychology, because there's a whole world of awareness that you're avoiding with that point of view. And it's, for me, it's, if you just take the basic principle, which is everywhere you think you're wrong, you're strong, and you apply that to, hang on a second, I have spherical awareness. I have awareness of past, present, and future, you know? And so a beautiful story about this. Can we tell people about the story when we did a Talk to the Entities class here in Bad Soden in Germany. And you remember I went to the train station and there's so many stories about entities, folks. I went to the train station to get the train, and it's a quite like, it's not an uncommon thing in Germany that they would find a bomb from World War II. And so basically they found a bomb from World War II on the train line. And because of that, I guess they have a whole disarming team where they go in and they examine it. And so for someone who's entity aware, I'm sitting at the train station. Troy is yawning because that's one of the capacities that we have, is we clear the energy around unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, particularly with entities. And so I'm sitting in the train station in Frankfurt, and I'm aware of the guys who made the bomb. I'm aware of the guy who flew the helicopter in to put the bomb. I'm aware of the guy who put the bomb there. And so if I talk to that, with most people, they'll be like, you're nuts, you're crazy. And yet if I talk about that to Troy or Shannon O'Hara, or people who are entity aware, they'll be like, yeah, of course you were aware of the people, of the factory, of the pilot, and so for me, other people are like, oh, that's a bomb and that didn't exist in Germany, there's no past. You know, and because of World War II. And so receiving with entity awareness is receiving all information from interesting point of view and what you can contribute, and not reacting and avoiding anything, you know. And so for me, Talk to the Entities has been this place where I have really had to trust what I know and not buy into, because we're so aware of other people's realities and we perceive people's realities. And the difficulty with this, what I did is, you will buy their realities as yours, you know? And so, yeah. And then you give up your entity awareness because you're perceiving your reality through everybody else's eyes and not your own awareness.
Yeah. And I get like that was one of the things, like, I'm very grateful for Talk to Entities because it allowed me to develop my knowing and not require like any approved or like from anyone. And
yeah, yep.
that was one of the places, like, because my, like, the way like I perceive entities, it's just so subtle. It's like, hey, I'm here, and like it's like, oh, okay, like then start asking questions like, what I'm aware of, is this an entity, and like getting clear on
Number
it.
one,
And
what am I aware of? Is this an entity?
yeah, exactly. And like asking like that simple questions, like, and I start to become like really present and without like making anything significant, because there's like so much significance around like when you say like entities, like what it is, like what it looks like, and like what does that mean if you like aware of entities. And then like when I actually come to a Talk to Entities beginning class where I explored like the tools and actually get clear on like what is that for me, like I start to realize like what is for me is just it's actually something that I always
Mm.
being that I covered up with so many lies and that
Yeah.
I gave up on like what was true for me regarding to entities. And
Yes.
now like I have like a totally
Because you bought other people's realities as your own, and so you couldn't really acknowledge and grow and develop and practice what was true for you until talk to the entities.
mm,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mm. And
Mm,
so we decided to do this live today because at the moment there's a lot of change going on in our planet. And when there's a lot of change going on in our planet, not only is there change for us, but there's also a change and transformation in the world of entities, you know? A lot of people are waking up and they're owning their capacities with the spirit world. And I'm one of the people with no significance, with no drama, with no like, oh, the light just flickered, or I saw something out of the corner of my eye, you know, or I perceived the energetics of these beings, you know, that did put that bomb on the trains, you know, along the tracks a long, long time ago. Well, not too long, you know, 70 years, maybe more. And so if you were willing to take the first step, is that know that you pick up other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and not to go into the wrongness of that. Because if you focus on the wrongness of that, then you will think you're nuts. True?
yeah. And actually it's so funny because like especially in the yeah, like couple of 100 years, like Shannon O'Hara was talking about like how in the past, like if you don't believe in ghosts,
Acknowledge.
they
Yeah,
yeah considered you as crazy. Like they're like, oh, like
yeah,
what's wrong with you? And now, like with the science and like all that development with technology and thinking, like people have a different point of view.
mm,
So
mm,
it's just for me,
yeah,
that's like so beautiful to acknowledge like how in time like actually people that gave up on what they were aware of
yeah,
or
yeah.
try like start to dismiss it. And I get like with talked in these like I'm extremely grateful for Shan O'Hara because as you were talking like I would go to a place and I would start to become aware of a lot of energies, and
Mm.
because I totally shut down and decided that that was wrong, like I will start to become impact on that. But like now, like as you talking
Exactly.
in your story, like just with like simple tools and acknowledgement, like the energies that was dynamically affecting my daily life is like, oh, hi. Like what contribution that I can be to
Exactly.
you and what contribution that you're looking to be for me that I can receive that will
There you
create
go.
a totally different possibility here. And
Mm,
yeah, it's
mm. Yeah.
just so much more ease. And it's something like like I'm been using like the tools like of Talk20 maybe like more than 3 years now, and it's not cognitive. It's not cognitive at
No,
all.
it's
Like I
not.
just
It's so
use the
energetic.
tools, and every time I use the tools, like my life gets greater, my life become more easier, my body relaxes. I have so much more peace and so much more connection with me and everything around me, and it just works.
Of course you have, because you're acknowledging what's true for you. And when you acknowledge what's true for you, you're trusting you, which immediately opens you up to having peace. And so I'd love to tell another little story of where I would have thought before that I was nuts, and then a conversation with you, just the use of the tools, because now myself and Troy have become the tools. I was teaching a foundation and a 3-day body class in Lancaster Gate, which is a street in London. And there's a hotel. Ooh, let me see if I can remember the name of the hotel. The Columbia Hotel. There you go. And I rang Troy and I was going up to my room after the first day of class. And I had this sense like I was walking along hospital corridors and I could
Mm,
see like nurses and like like these hospital beds, but like a lot of them. And before I would have been like, oh my God, am I nuts? Am I crazy? You know, which is judgment and exclusion. There's no question in that. It's a conclusion. Okay. It's a presumptive
Mhm.
reality. And so I called Troy up and he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I am perceiving so much here. And my beautiful friend starts to ask me questions. What are you aware of? I'm aware of a hospital. I'm aware of nurses. I'm aware of like guys in military, World War. So anyway, we run the entity clearings, and the simple entity clearings is who were you? Because the whole basis of this is we are infinite beings, and I've had many lifetimes with many identities, jobs, and so who were you? Who were you before that? Oh, I was a soldier in World War One. Who were you before that? Oh, I was a Greek goddess. Oh, I was a Turkish trader. You know what I mean? Who were you before that? And you address the energy, and who can you be in the future? So you're contributing to the entity having a different choice energetically. It's about choice. And then what are you? These are the top entities, Karen. Go check them out. They're on YouTube. What were you before that? What were you before that? With no point of view, you're just assisting that this entity is stuck in time. And you're assisting them in knowing that they're an infinite being and that they have a different choice on what can you be in the future and everything that is right, wrong, good, bad, POC, all nine shorts, boys, bubs, and beyonds. That's the basic clearing. We go into much deeper clearings in these classes. And so anyway, we go in and you run the clearings and I run the clearings. And the next day I'm talking to someone in class and she's like, oh yeah, this used to be a hospital during World War One. And we go on and sure enough, the nurse that I described to you that I had seen, there's a photograph and we find photographs online. And so to me, this is like, and I'm honestly going to be vulnerable here. I'm still like, I'm so brainwashed by this reality of this is the way this is and everything is in straight lines and it's not like that because I'm spherically aware of past, present, and future. I was still like, wow, holy, like, wow, I have been completely brainwashed out of these capacities that I have. And that's me as a talk to entities facilitator, 3 years into facilitating talk to entities. So for me, it's like using these capacities to your advantage and contributing what you can contribute to a whole world that has been excluded because thinking and science became greater than the natural arts of talk to the entities, because it is an art.
Yeah, I'm personally like I wouldn't want to live in a world that everything is about like thinking and doing and like where you don't like receive from the nature spirits of like water and like trees. Like I'm like I personally don't want to live in that world.
Yeah, exactly. And we live in a world where, as I'm talking, there's like little birds flew across the window. We live in a world where we acknowledge the earth, nature spirits, what has been. He just flew across again. We have spirits of the earth and we have there's a huge different myriad of entities. And so for me, Marianne's question is in what way can you receive whatever is possible to change the past, the present, and future by being present and receiving with no point of view and offering always choice and that everything is changeable and that the entity that I'm contributing to is an infinite being and they have another choice by being in question and knowing that there is always a greater possibility and that change is always available, that they're not stuck in a personality or a job. And for me, when I contribute to entities, Troy, this is a massive capacity that you have. What's it like for you when you contribute to entities in the world of entities?
Like for me, it's just like only way I can describe it is it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like when I am willing to like receive and actually like contributing to them because like one of the things that really makes me happy like contributing for people to have more choice and possibilities and contributing to entities in the same time, because every time like I am willing to acknowledge them, there is like a simultaneous gifting and receiving that expands
Oh,
my world, and I can perceive it's expanding their world, and yeah, it's just beautiful. And I know like I am contributing to create a future that all energies are included, and I think it's judge, which is
and
my target and what I would love to see more in the world.
I love when you said I'm creating a future where all entities are included and all beings are all beings are valuable, you know, that they actually
Mm.
like are received, you know. And as in like you can transmute that energy and it can now add to the energy of consciousness, which I love. Like you're building these energetics to create a world where it's all inclusive and there's no judgment and it's open and ease with the entity world. And for me, I was so programmed and brainwashed, and I had all these coping mechanisms to reject and refuse based on everyone else's point of view. It did take me a while for sure to, number one, be present and start receiving and not reject and react to my entity awareness, because I had so many definitions, POD and POC, that's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. And so the capacity to be and work with this capacity was through the educational system, which is an ecosystem for growth of your entity awareness, through the educational system of toxic entities.
Mm. Yeah. And if you are out there and would love to have more information about Talk Entities, like Rachel's going to facilitate Talk Entities introduction class. It's 2 hours, and it's like from my personal point of view, it's so cheap. It's like I think 19 euros to
It's
90
my
euros
mind.
to
I
do the
just
class.
see people spend thousands of euros, you know, over Christmas and dollars, like thousands, like on food and whatever. And I mean, I think our turkey at home in Ireland was 120 bucks. We've been and I'm like, talk to entities is 90. It's just like a no-brainer. And so we'd love to invite you on to the Talk to Entities introduction tomorrow night. And then if you are in Germany, it's live only. I'll be in Essen Saturday and Sunday with the Talk to Entities, the beginning. Where's my manual?
And I just want to clarify, like the Talk Entities introduction is live in Essen and online, which you can
Online,
join
yes.
online. But for if you are looking to come for a Talk Entities beginning class, which includes the introduction, that will be only live.
Exactly. So I suppose what I would love for people to receive from this conversation is that you will pick up other people's judgments in regard to the spirit world. And you're not wrong if you do, you're just aware. And I suppose if you use the first tool that changed my life is everywhere that you think you're wrong, you're strong. And what strongness are you avoiding with the wrongness that you are using? And everything that is, and everywhere where you're making these spherical awareness, these capacities to be aware of past, present, and future, a wrongness instead of a strongness that can contribute to an all-inclusive world with all beings, will you now destroy and uncreate all that? And this is the Access Consciousness Caring Statement. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, boys, and beyonds. That just takes all those energetics of intense emotions, feelings, you know, righteousness, rightness, wrongness, and it just dissipates those energies so you can actually be you and be strong in your capacity and ability and have your own back and acknowledge what's true for you without having to be validated by anyone else.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Hey, how does it get any better? And thanks so much, Rachel, for this beautiful conversation and inviting me. And thanks so much for everybody that's watching now or in the future.
And Troy, thank you for you, because you've always had my back. You've always been willing to support me in bringing to the world what I know is true and support me in what I am aware of. And it's so beautiful to have someone who asks you questions and supports you in regard to what you're aware of without inflicting their point of view or imposing their point of view on you. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Marianne. Thank you for watching this. We hope it was a contribution to you. And what would it take for us to live in a conscious world that includes all beings and everything that doesn't allow that right and wrong, good, bad, pot, pot, gone, night, shorts, boys, pubs, and beyond? Say ça.
Yeah.
That's it. Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful 27th. I'm off to do some food shopping because I just came to Germany. So off to get the basics. So have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you so much. And big hugs and oceans of loving and caring to you, and be weird. You could never fit in anyway. So why would you even try? Be the weird, wonderful, different possibility that you came here to be. And what if you didn't have to fit in? No more normal. That'll be our 2024. No more normal. Celebrate the difference of you and what you're aware of. Beautiful. Mwah. Bye for now, Mr. Troy. I adore you.
Bye, Rachel.
Mwah. Bye, everyone.
I'm so grateful for you.
Oh. Bye.
Bye.